How's it going, guys? Copy here. Today I wanted to go over how to create, import, and manage item filters in the game. Item filters are really important. They're really good at ensuring that you are not wasting a bunch of time having to hover over every single item on the ground to see if it's something you want to pick up. This really comes into play a lot, and there's a lot of managing with it when it comes to first starting on a character or if you're playing in like an SSF mode. For this and because of this, I thought it was a good time to go over filters once more for anyone who isn't that familiar with them. First thing, to either equip or modify a filter, you click this button in the upper right hand corner here, and you're going to go ahead and click where it says filter. By default, you'll just have these three filters here that come with the game. This junior, intermediate, and advanced filter. You have a few options here under the create button. You can either create from a shared code, so you would get that code from either online somewhere on Discord or from another content creator or from my spreadsheet, depending on what you're trying to play, or you can create from a template, or you can create a brand new blank filter. My recommendations are going to be to either create from a shared code or to create from a template. For the sake of this video, we're going to go ahead and create from a template here. And we're going to just go ahead and use the junior official filter, so we'll be able to see the differences the most between what's being hidden or not. The intermediate filter is pretty good at just hiding like the majority of things, and it'll still kind of leave you some higher end items to kind of look at. But the junior filter is good at ensuring you're not hiding too much. So let's go ahead and find this here. Where's the one we just created? This one right here is the one we just created here. So let's look at the things on the items on the ground here. Just with this base filter, if I hold the Alt key here, which is what I set, I can see all the loot that's around. You can see there are a few items that it is hiding here, but it's still showing quite a bit. So what we'll want to be doing is, or the main purpose of the filter is to kind of have it showcase the items that we do want to be picking up in a different light. So it'll make them have a better display, so it's harder for us to miss them and ensure that we see them and ensure we go back and pick them up. So let's just look at an example here. Say we wanted this, we'll look at wands here, right? So this wand has this reap and affliction effect on it. So we would go, say, into our filter here, we were specifically playing like a class like Gemma 2, and we were looking for items with this filter on it here, say. So we would go ahead and go into here where it says gear, once we've selected our filter here. So this is the default things that it's going to show for based off of the early game filter. This is showcasing, as you can see here, this is showcasing that it's basically saying any item that has more than 2 affixes that only add up to affix tiers of 2. So that means 2 T1 mods will show no matter what the T1 mods are. And then it has other ones here. So anything that is item level 100, so it has 200 plasticity, and it has a tier 1 mod on it, that will be shown as well. And then it has a few other ones here. So this one basically shows any gear that has at least one tier 1 mod on it as well. And then it goes down depending on the item level, so it kind of shows a lot of different stuff, and it starts to get more and more strict the higher level up you get in the maps, because realistically for most players, the higher up they're going to be doing, the less they're really going to want to be seeing, because the less likely they are to find an upgrade. So for our case, we're going to act like we're a brand new character that just hit maps and we're searching for our gear. So the first thing you have here is drop style. You can adjust this if you go ahead and click this button that says hidden drops and you were to click confirm. This is how you would explicitly block things. So the way that the filters work is they will block things in order of where the filter rules are. So you can see when this is at the top here, this is going to hide everything no matter what, because it's whatever, or all of the gear rather, no matter what, because it's at the top. But if I were to move this down to the bottom, for example, we'll leave this up here for now, and then we will go back to gear here and say we were to create another filter here that's right above this, to where we're only going to showcase the exact piece of gear that we were talking about before that has the mod we're looking for. So other than this, if you do want to actually see things, you can select the filter here for exactly how you want that item to look. So we're just going to go ahead and select this top one. There's a lot of different selections here that have different colors and icons and everything. I typically will just select one of these like top 3 or 4 just because they're, I know pretty much anything that pops with these, I do want to see them. But if you want to have a little more control over it and ensure like certain things look a certain way, you can go ahead and do that. So we can go ahead and click confirm here. And let's go ahead and look over the list of filter conditions that are available. So the first one they have here is item type. So if we wanted to search for a specific item type or a specific item base, you could go ahead and select that here. For the sake of this test here, we're just going to select all weapons. We don't really care. You know what? Let's actually just set it to all wands. Say we're looking specifically for any wand that is going to have the mod we're looking for here. So we're going to go ahead and just check it for wands here. If we wanted to select only certain wand bases, we could unselect some of them from here. But we're going to go ahead and search for all of them. The next one here is random affixed quantity. So this is basically just the total number of mods on that item. So if, say, if you were looking for items that only had a minimum of 3 mods or 4 mods, whatever it may be. The stage level is going to be for like if you want to show and see certain things while you're in like tier 1 to tier 3 Netherrealm, and then see different things when you're in T7 or T8, you can adjust that here. This one typically doesn't get used that much. Item level does come up because items that are up to item level 99 can have their mods upgraded up to tier 1 using ground quartz. So one of the big things I covered in my trade post video is buying items that are between item level 85 and 99 can save you a ton of money and allow you to get items that are like 5 T1 items very, very cheap. And then if you want to search for specifically item level 100 items because you only care about getting things that can go up to tier 0, then you can set that item level here. The other thing is energy. Early on, I will typically sort by energy because I only want to see item bases that already have and high energy value on them, because I'm just trying to get my energy up as quickly as I can so I could actually equip more of my skills and more of my supports. Early on this league, energy cores were really, really expensive and they held their value for a really long time. So searching for gear that is high energy can save you a lot of money there already. And then same thing with plasticity. You can get item level 100 things that don't have 200 plasticity. So if you just search for 200 plasticity, those will show only the level 100 items that are actually craftable. The other main one that you're mainly going to be using is searching by affix here. So say for affix here, you can actually select the specific affixes that you wanted to search for. For our case, we're going to go ahead and search for affliction effect. It's kind of what we want on here right now. So I don't know, I wonder if this is going to be under damage over time or element. Is it going to be persistent? So right here. So we got affliction effect here. So with the only single item selected, this next one would be how many of the affixes that you selected above need to be on this item in order for it to be shown. So because we only have 1, we're going to set it to 1. But then we can, and then you can select the tiers of the mods that you want to show. So if you leave this blank by default, it'll just show items of every single tier. But say once you start to get, for example, you're searching for affliction effect on every single piece of gear that you can. So that's, you're looking for it on your rings, on your weapons, on your belt, and your helmet and your necklace. Once you get it on those, you'll only want to start seeing affliction effects that's better than what you already have, right? So say if you have tier 3 affliction effect on everything, you're going to start only searching for tier 2 and then only searching for tier 1. So you'll be adjusting this frequently on if you just start a character or when you're first leveling through. But let's go ahead and select this and we'll kind of showcase what we'll see with just this selected here. So we should see just this one wand here with this affliction effect on it. If we did want to set this to where we wanted to adjust it to where we didn't see lower tiers of the affliction effect anymore, because we already had a wand like this, for example, we could go back into edit here and we can set this to a max tier of 1. So this would show only wands with a tier 0 or tier 1 affliction effect. If we had, say, 2 mods selected here, and we wanted to ensure that it had 2 of those mods on it, we could also change the tiers here. If you're going to do 2, then say you wanted an item that had max tier 2, you would ensure that you set your max to 4, because it's gonna add up the total affixed tiers of every single mod. So if you wanted it to be double tier 1 mods, then you'd be set the max to 2. If you wanted it to be triple tier 1, you'd set it to 3, etc. So for the case of this, we're going to showcase that again. If we set this to tier 1 here, and we actually go back and look, we're not even going to see this anymore, because the affliction effect mod on this is tier 2 or tier 3. I can't even tell what it is. I'm pretty sure it's tier 2 or 3. I think that's actually tier 3. But the same thing goes if we were to basically explicitly set the item here to look for, say we wanted to go in here, and we're going to go ahead and select, it needed to have this gear physical damage on it as well, and we wanted to have a minimum of 2 mods on it. So this item would have to match both of the mods that we selected here. So we can just fully clear this actually. So clear. So we can have it basically search. This wand is still not going to show up because it doesn't match both of the mods. Even though it matches the affliction effect mod, it doesn't match the physical mod that we searched on here. Where did that just go? Oh, I just selected the wrong filter. Okay, let's go in here. So say we'll go ahead and edit, and let's add in another effect in here as well. So the other one we were looking at reap here. So I'm not sure which one of these reaps we want on here, so we're going to go ahead and just search for all of them here. So we want to ensure that it has 2 of these mods here. And now that we selected this reap, this item here has reap on it as well as the affliction effect. So now we're going to see this item again. You can go ahead and do this, and you'd basically go ahead and change this specifically for what you want. You don't have to aggressively hide everything else like I do. I will typically have a thing like this that basically says to hide everything, but instead of having it up here at 2, you would want to ensure that you have it all the way at the very bottom of everything else. So there's already one here that's already set in place to hide everything that doesn't match one of these other tiers already. You can see that is already at the bottom of the filter. But it's going to go in the order. So as soon as an item hits, say it's basically going to look at them in order. So if it hits a whatever is set at number 1, it's going to show it based off of number 1. Even if number 2 would be try to tell it to display in a different way. So you can go ahead and go through this. The filters are pretty generous with helping you kind of split things up depending on what you're trying to basically display differently. So you can do the same thing for legendary gear, for relics, or for memories. When it comes to legendary gear, you can kind of explicitly tell it which legendary items you want to see and which ones you don't. And then you can kind of change how everything looks. So if you want to change how your flame elementium looks on the ground, for example, we could go ahead and create a new filter here and say I wanted flame elementium to be pink like this. I could go into the filter conditions here under edit, and I can change the item type, and I can just choose flame elementium here, and make this flame elementium show up in pink here instead of the default orange that it is. So yeah, if you have any questions about filters, leave them in the comments down below, and I'll be more than happy to answer them. And other than that, see you in the next one.